Great to see you back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kenyan Media YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your great support always on this platform. And as usual, I'm going to be your host. Now, my fellow Kenyans, earlier today, the former CS of Interior under Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's government, Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i, who is also aiming to challenge President William Samoei Ruto on the ballot box, attended a church service in Thika town together with his crew. But before I dive deeper into that analysis, let me give you a quick update. A mask vendor who was shot at his head during the peaceful protest last week on Tuesday 17th have been declared clinically dead in hospital. And before we proceed with this analysis, I would like that to listen to the update on what is happening to that mask vendor who was shot by rogue Ruto police officers during the peaceful protest in Nairobi. Watch the video.
Let's now revisit our top story of the day. And mask seller Boniface Mwangi Kariuki was shot by a police officer in protests on June 17th, has been declared as brain dead. Now, Kariuki has been at the Kenyatta National Hospital in the intensive care unit ICU since admission. His family issued a statement moments ago. Let's now listen into the full statement issued by family spokesman Emily Wanjira at the Kenyatta National Hospital.
We received a call at around midnight. It was at around 12:47 midnight from the hospital itself. They needed to have a brief with us, and we have already received the brief. We have been told what is happening, and the reality of the things, what is happening is that Boniface Mwangi Kariuki is confirmed to be brain dead. So that's where and how far we are. The hospital bill now is quite higher. We are at 3-point-something now. So we are praying and hoping now for the well-wishers, because now when somebody has been confirmed brain dead, we know what it means. So the brainstem of Boniface Mwangi Kariuki, it's not working any longer. So for all the well-wishers, we as the family of Boniface Mwangi Kariuki, we cry upon you, because a lot of hopes and promises were being given to us, but none has come through. So on behalf of that, we were given a pay bill for the medical bill fund, whereby is 76,82,551 account. It's your name. And the name that to reflect out of that pay bill, it's Boniface Mwangi Kariuki Medical Fund. So hapo ndipo tuko. Thank you.
So that is the statement, or that is the update concerning to the mask vendor who was shot during the peaceful protest on his head. Back to our discussion. I really like the strategy and the effort that Dr. Kengo Fred Matiang'i is now putting to make President William Samoei Ruto accountable. Fred Matiang'i is now coming out to tell President William Samoei Ruto that you need to agree that things are not okay on the ground. You need to accept what youths are trying to raise. If you want peace with the youth in the Republic of Kenya, try to accept what they are trying to raise. I want to watch this statement of Dr. Kengo Fred Matiang'i. It is now boiling nicely, ladies and gentlemen. It is not going to be much easier for President William Samoei Ruto. Nobody is going to step aside for William Samoei Ruto to continue with his bad leadership that he has produced in the Republic of Kenya. I want you to watch this video.
We are not fine. This cycle of violence and disagreements and protest really has to come to an end. What our people and our young people particularly are seeking is that they are listened to. And our leaders, particularly our leaders in government, who are the ones who have consequential convening power, are the only ones who can put people together in the manner in which even civic leaders are suggesting, so that we can focus on the solutions to the challenges and the problems that we are dealing with. But it cannot be that, you know, when something happens like happened last Wednesday, we now begin saying things that are very interesting. Honestly speaking, It's so difficult to even try to repeat some of the things I'm hearing. How can you say, now we are talking about one community, or saying, you know, the people who were on the streets came from Muranga and Nyeri, and then they went all the way to Kericho and Kisii and Kakamega and Mombasa. So there was no one in Muranga and Nyeri that day. Everyone left Muranga and Nyeri, went to Busia and Kisumu. Honestly, Narok, we are, you know, that is worse than a joke, honestly. When you are talking about the grave nature of the challenges that we are dealing with, how can we trivialize such a serious national crisis and then subject it to, you know, hilarious jokes like those? Let's be serious. And personally, I associate myself with the remarks and the position that has been taken by the religious leaders in this country, private sector groups that are saying the same thing as we are saying, namely that our country is headed the wrong direction. And this is not rocket science. You don't need a PhD from Harvard to know we are headed the wrong direction. You can see it. It's written all over the place. And in saying so, we are saying this is a patriotic moment. It's a moment for all of us to cross ranks. Wacha tuweke kando hata hiyo mambo ingine yote, siasa nini. We're talking about uchaguzi is 25 or 26 months away. Our country must survive first, and we must be a stable nation before we get there. So let us not even stop talking about those businesses, about elections and stuff like that. Focus on the stability of the country. I have been moving around, talking to people. I go to, you know, meet people. Look here, I am in charge here today, sitting with these leaders. The level of bitterness and anger down below in the country is unprecedented. I have not seen that before. Now, to imagine that there's nothing wrong and carry on as if it's business as usual, honestly, you have to be a very strange person. We are asking our brothers and sisters, and then, as I said, this is a patriotic moment. This is a time for the country. And what is being called upon now, it's also a leadership moment. Let's stand up and do the right thing for our country. And it cannot be based on excuses, some of them lovable. That, you know, I don't know who, I saw them on the TV, they're dropping money. So when you saw them dropping money, why didn't you arrest them? Because, you know, when leaders tell us these things, and I've said this several times before, I mean, as a minister, if I was a cabinet minister myself, as a minister, I would never make allegations. Sasa niwaambie nyinyi wananchi mfanye nini? Hamuna pingu, hamuna polisi, hamwezi kukamata mtu. Sasa nikuje kulia huko kwa wananchi, mfanye nini nyinyi wananchi? Yule ako na madaraka wa kufanya hiyo kazi, hawezi kuja aseme ni wale ama ni huyu. If you have evidence huyo mtu ako na maneno, onyesha watu hiyo evidence ndio hii, huyu amefanya makosa haya na hatutaki mtu akufanya makosa kama haya. Sasa sio wakati wa kulaumiana tafadhali. Sasa tuende kwa kazi. And these leaders wajue kwamba all of us, the citizens they lead, sisi tunataka kuwa support wakitafuta solutions kwa nchi yetu. Wacha sasa tuache hii maneno ya kuongea eti nini siasa nini. Elections are 26 or 25 months away. We can't now spend all our time on that and the country is burning. So that is my view, and that's what I think needs to happen. Let us put all our energy now on the solutions to our country. We need a stable country, we need a progressive country, we need a country that works together, and we need a country where we can live together. Let's stop this business of now starting to drag excuses. Is one community, you came from where? Which community? I mean, we are all a community of suffering people. It's one community.
So that is what is happening right now. Opposition leaders are now coming out to stand firm with the rights and freedoms of the youth of the Republic of Kenya. Washaamua kusimama na Gen Z. And if Gen Z can really rally back behind one person, even if it can be Matiang'i, Kalonzo Musyoka, PK Salase, or any other leader, I think William Samoei Ruto can be a one-term president. What we need to do as the youth in the Republic of Kenya is to register as a voter. Let's register first. Then have that card of voting. Because that is the only sword or the only way that we can use to make William Samoei Ruto a one-term president. That is the only way. We cannot be singing one-term president if we don't have an ID, if we don't have the vote card. How can you make President William Samoei Ruto one-term president if you don't want to go to vote against him? So I really like that strategy, that path, or strategy, or idea that opposition leaders have now decided to follow. Because a split of opposition is a dangerous move for President William Samoei Ruto in 2027 election. And not a split, sorry, a united opposition is a dangerous move for President William Samoei Ruto in the next general election, and a split opposition is a win for President William Samoei Ruto ahead of 2027 election, because even these opposition leaders know whom they are dealing with. They know who is President William Samoei Ruto. So they need to have a wonderful strategy. They need to unite together if they want to move this man from the power. They must be together, they must unite together, and they must have a serious people to rally back behind them. That is the citizens of the Republic of Kenya, the youths. Youth must also agree on one thing: whether they will support opposition or the government, or they're going to have their candidate. They need to prepare themselves earlier on the political space. If they will support opposition or the government of William Samoei Ruto again, or their leader, they need to come up with an idea of what they want, whom they want to rally back with, even if they want a change. They need to come up with an idea on whom they are going to support. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and see you in the next video. May God bless you. Bye-bye.